The top of the side mount is a great position to be in. Once you acquire top position, your number one focus should be control. When your opponent is tired, you can start thinking about improving your position, like going to the mount, or going for a submission, or strikes. If you have to, and you need to remove yourself from the fight, you can also stand up and run away. In this video, we're going to talk about control and transitioning from the side mount to the mount. Let's start by talking about how to position yourself correctly. Place your chest over your opponent's chest, hug their head, and hug under their arm, connecting your hands together so they cannot bench press you. Your head should be glued to their shoulder and one of your legs posted out, so that when they try to throw you that way, your posted leg would prevent it. If they throw you the other way, pose your hand out for base. When they walk towards you or away from you, keep the angle. Walk with them. If your head comes up and they push your face away, transition to the modified side mount. They are framing and pushing your hip back. Go to the cross chest position. Grab their arm by the elbow and pick it up. Sit your back leg through so that your knee is placed underneath their shoulder. If they're trying to sit up, switch back to the standard side mount. It is common for your head to come up when trying to control the side mount. If your opponent pushes your face or frames your neck, transition to the modified side mount. The side mount walk around is the best option if your opponent is also trying to escape their hips. As soon as you feel your opponent pushing your face or framing your neck, switch your arms. Connect your elbow to their neck and block their hip on the other side. Hide your head on their belly. If they re-hug your head, switch back to the standard side mount control. When they frame your neck and your hips, trying to push into you to escape their hips, switch to the modified side mount. Then do the side mount walk around by getting up on your knees and walking around to the other side of their body. Make sure to keep your chest over their chest and move your arms so that you are always in base. Control, exhaust, and frustrate your opponent first. Then transition to a better position. In this case, go from the side mount to the top of the mount. To transition from the side mount to the mount, get up on your knees, pose your arm out for base in a 45-degree angle, slide your shin across their hip, extend your opponent and bring your foot over, ending on top of the mount. When you transition from the side mount to the mount, using the knee drive variation, pick up your opponent's arm by the elbow before you get up on your knees. As you get up on your knees, their arm should be isolated on the outside of your body. They should not be able to bring their arm back in to block, push, or frame your hip. If their arm is not isolated, do not transition to the mount. Otherwise, go for it. Once you're on your knees, with your opponent's arm isolated and your hand posted out for base, start bringing your knee and your shin across their belly. If there is enough space on the other side of their body for your foot to land on the ground, bring it over using a windshield wiper motion. If there is not enough space for your foot to land safely, use the tip of your knee by placing it on the ground and your posted arm to stretch your opponent out. Then bring your foot over. If you're trying to transition to the mount using the knee drive variation and you're having trouble isolating your opponent's arm, you can use the high step variation. This option can also be used if you are in the modified side mount. If you are going to use the high step variation to go from the side mount to the mount, transition to the modified side mount first. Then sit your back leg through so that you are facing your opponent's legs. Finish by taking a big step over. After modifying your side mount, sit your back leg through so that your knee is touching their hip. Your other leg should be posted back for base. When you're ready to mount, reach across to grab their knee. Replace your hand with your heel and drive your hips as you go to the mount. knee on belly adds a whole new dimension to side mount control. From here you can transition to a better position, strike or stand up and remove yourself from the fight, all while still having control of your opponent. To position yourself correctly, stand up next to your partner's waist, slide your shin across their belly, post your opposite foot on the ground and keep good posture. Drill going from the side mount to knee on belly and back to side mount. To transition from side mount to knee on belly, place your hands on the ground, hop up to your feet, slide your shin across their hip, and with your hands control their neck and their leg. When your opponent pushes your leg, transition back to the side mount or to the modified side mount. To go from side mount to knee on belly, push off your hands and feet to stand up, then slide your shin across their belly. Repeat this process back and forth until you get your timing and your positioning right. Your hands should be controlling their neck or their collar on one side and their pants or their leg across on the other side. As soon as your opponent pushes your knee, try to thread your arm through to the ground and transition to the standard side mount. If you are late or unable to thread your arm through when your opponent pushes your knee, then transition to the standard side mount and then modify, or transition directly to the modified side mount.